Good afternoon, and welcome to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. I am your host, Kevin King. He is I, and I am him, the 800 Credit Score Man himself. And I just want to come in and say thank you once again for dialing in, listening to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. I hope all this information helps you improve your credit scores. And improving your credit scores, so increasing those scores does what for you? Increasing those scores lowers the interest rates that you pay, and it saves you money. So at the end of the day, that's what happens, and that's the whole point and purpose behind this show, is to help you increase your credit score. So again, thank each and every one of you guys for coming in. I'm here every Saturday, 1:30 Central Standard Time on Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker. But then on demand, you can always catch it at your leisure at iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, and always again on Spreaker.com as well at your leisure. So there's no excuse to miss the 800 Credit Score Man Show. So what are we going to talk about today? Let me tell you exactly what it is. If you have a credit person, a credit company that is helping you with your credit, trying to help you increase your scores and things of that nature, then if they're worth their salt at all, they should be telling you about the information that I'm going to tell you about today. There's some new information that has come out that is positive, yet again, positive for the consumer. So within the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, the credit scoring systems, whether it be TransUnion, Equifax, or if it's Experian, or if it's FICO, or if it's the Attorney Generals that have come together, they've done some very positive things for consumers when it comes to your credit, and they've added to that. And so I'm going to share with you today the information that they have added. In addition to doing that, I'm also going to talk about the Fed. Now, I call them the Fed, but the Federal Reserve raised interest rates as well. So although this is not a money show, it's not a debt consolidation show, it's about your credit. But what did I just say? I said we're increasing your credit scores so your interest rates can go down and you can save more money. So with the Fed, the Federal Reserve raising their rates, I'm going to try to connect the dots for you today and see what does that mean for you. I know in the past, I would have said that has nothing to do with me at all, but I know better. I know better now. So when the Fed raises their rates, it does affect me as an individual, and it'll affect all of you guys as well. So we're going to connect the dots on those things today. And I don't know what in the world it is, but there are a lot of birthdays, a lot of shout outs that I have to do for the month of March. So I got a lot of them that I'm going to pepper in throughout the show today. So I got to start off the show. Really, I got to give a big shout out to Uncle Henry. That's my uncle, John Henry King Sr. A few months ago, his son's birthday is in November. John Henry King Jr. I gave him a shout out then, and I want to give Uncle Henry, some people call him Pops, happy birthday, turned 83. So you guys give him a big hand clap for turning 83 years old. So happy birthday to you, Uncle Henry. All right, so let's jump into this. So the first thing I want to say, we're going to talk about the Federal Reserve and them raising the rates. And they raised the rates last week, so they announced that they would be raising the rates last week. And I predicted this. If you listen regularly to the 800 Credit Score Man Show, you'll know that I predicted that the Fed was going to raise rates sometime this year. Now, I'm not Nostradamus or anything like that. I think a blind man could have seen that they were going to raise the rates. So, yes, they raised the rates. They also said that they're going to raise the rates 2 more times this year and potentially 3 times next year. So in 2018, they'll raise the rates again 3 times. So 6 rate hikes in a 24-month period. So what in the world does that mean to you? What it means is that it's going to cost you and me more money to borrow the same thing that we could have borrowed 2 months ago, the same amount of money, to pay the same price for the vehicle, or pay to make the same payment for a particular vehicle, or if you were getting a home, your interest rates is going to cost us more money to do so. Now, I've already said twice in the show that the whole point of the show is to help you pay less, to increase your credit score so you can get a better interest rate, and then you're going to save some money in that regard. Well, this is going to hurt you when it comes to cash out of your pocket. So it's more important now to get a good or a better credit score so you don't have to pay as much. But the person right now today that has a 758 credit score and they're paying a certain interest rate, that interest rate will be different for them because the Fed has raised those rates. So that interest rate will be higher for them if they go to buy, a home in the next couple of months. It'll be definitely be higher for them, all of them. So that is one of the things that it affects us all with, is that it's going to raise rates. No matter what your interest or no matter what your credit score is, it's going to affect you, and you're going to pay a higher interest rate than you would have, say, last month, or definitely a year ago. You're going to pay a higher amount for everything. So it's just going to cost us more money to buy the same thing that we could have bought today. It's going to cost us more money. It also means that, if you don't know, your credit cards, for the most part, the vast majority, the interest rates are variable. If you pay attention to your statements and things like that, you'll see that it says there's a prime rate plus. So that rate is going up, and it means this. It means that your payment is going to go up. So let me caution all of you people that are like me, you ones that don't look at your statements because you've been paying your credit card, $40 a month, every month for the last who knows how long. You haven't charged anything additional, and you just go ahead and you're almost on automatic, and you pay them $40 every month. Pull out your statement. Take a look at your statement, because that payment most likely is going to change. It's not going to go down. The payment is going to go up because the interest rates are going up. So take a look at that. Make sure you see that. So the interest rate on your credit card is going to go up, which also means your payment is going to go up. If you have a credit card with a huge balance, the bigger the balance, the bigger the amount of increase in your payment. So if you have one with a smaller balance, if you got a card and it only has a $300 balance and you've been paying $20 a month, then maybe you got to pay $23 a month for your minimum payment on your card. Now, if you've been listening again to the 800 Credit Score Man show, we've been talking about getting out of debt, reducing those credit card balances so you can increase your credit score. Talking about getting those balances down to less than 30% of what your limits are. So in addition to it being a good idea to help with your credit score, you're also going to save money, because if you get it down, then of course you're not paying all that money out, and you're not paying a lot of interest. So that's what's going to happen with you with this Federal Reserve raising the rates. If you still have a variable rate mortgage or a variable rate loan, then your interest rate is going to go up, which means that your payment is going to go up as well. So if you're talking about a mortgage, and not a lot of these still exist, some of them do. This was really big. It had been big for a long time, but right prior to the housing crash, if you will, of 2007, 2008, maybe even 2009 era, people with variable rate loans really took it on the chin, if you will. So the interest rates went up, and the payments tripled, double. They were 500 times what they were before, and people couldn't afford to make those payments, and that's why a lot of people lost their homes. So this could be the case as well, because the interest rate's going to go up, and those rates are going to, and those payments are going to go higher. And I don't want to say the word balloon, because it's not a balloon payment, but yes, those rates are going to be higher, and your payments are going to be higher as well. So a lot of people had issues when it came to that with variable rate mortgages especially. So when the Fed goes up, then those payments are actually going to go up as well. So that's going to be detrimental, if you will, to your finances. And that's what I wanted to share to you today. Now, I'm going to connect the dots here. I'm definitely going to connect the dots when it comes to the Federal Reserve rates going up. and as well as the new information that's coming out. And this is why you want to tune in to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. You can catch the 800 Credit Score Man Show at all those places: iTunes, Spreaker.com, Stitcher, of course, Google Play, SoundCloud. You can catch us there as well. But you can also contact me if you have questions about any of this at all, or any credit question. Please contact me, 800 Credit Score Man at gmail.com. You can catch me on Twitter at Credit Score _Man. That's at Credit Score _Man on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. I'm simply at 800 Credit Score Man. You can catch me there. And of course, I'm asking each and every one of you to join the Credit Score Comeback Facebook group. Credit Score Comeback Facebook group. Join that group so you can get additional information all throughout the week. Now, what I just spoke about with the Federal Reserve raising their rates, and they're going to do it again a couple of more times this year, I'm going to post information about that as well. So if you're in that group of Credit Score Comeback on Facebook, you'll definitely get it. But follow me on any one of those other platforms, and you'll be able to get that information as well. And if you follow me on Twitter, that's at Credit Score _Man, I absolutely will follow you back there. So if you're looking for a new follower, if you're looking for some information about your credit and how to improve it, then follow me on Twitter. All right. Okay. So let's jump into, it's a little early for the question of the day, but let's do that. I want to jump into the question of the day. Now, the question of the day is sponsored by none other than Cute as a Cupcake, the Cupcakery and Bake Shop, where the cupcakes are more than just cute, they're delicious. Now, Cute as a Cupcake is located at 2008 West 81st. That's 2008 West 81st in Maryville, Indiana. Make sure you get by Cute as a Cupcake and tell them that the 800 Credit Score Man sent you to Cute as a Cupcake. All right, so let's get into the question of the day. And right before I do, let me give another birthday shout out. I want to shout out Monica Bradford. Happy birthday to you. She celebrated a birthday earlier in the week, so happy birthday to you, Monica Bradford, as well. All right, so the question of the day is, it came from Michelle out of Illinois, and she asked, who do I contact first, my mortgage lender or you, a credit person? Now, I happen to know that within the context of this particular question, first of all, thanks a lot, Michelle. I appreciate your question. I know in this particular question, the premise of this particular question, and so the reason she asked is because she wants to know, if you're going to get a home, your whole purpose is to finally find your home. So, of course, you need a mortgage to do so. Then should this person contact the mortgage lender first, have them run their credit, take a look at it, kind of tell them what they need to do to be approved, or if they're already, in the correct range and how much they can be approved for, things of that nature. That's one thing. One thing she wants to know. Or should a person contact somebody like me, the 800 Credit Score Man, who helps people restore their credit? Should they contact me first and look at their credit and start to work on it and improve it prior to contacting a mortgage lender? So I guess being biased, if you will, on what I do versus what a mortgage lender does, I would say that you're going to contact me first. If you've listened to the 800 Credit Score Man show before, or you may know or may have heard me say that when you start thinking, like seriously, when you start thinking, I might want to buy a home, when you save your first penny for your down payment, the first time you hear something on the radio that sparks your mind to say, I'm going to buy a home and I'm going to do it in 2017 or I'm going to do it in 2018, that's when you contact somebody like me. You contact somebody like me, or that's when you start working on your credit, I would say. That's when you start working on your credit. So if you're going to contact and you need some professional help, then of course, I want you to contact me. That's 800 Credit Score Man at gmail.com. That's 800 Credit Score Man at gmail.com. So you're going to contact somebody like me if you need some professional help, if you need an evaluation, if you don't know exactly where you sit, then contact somebody like me, and hopefully I'll be able to help you out, at least point you in the right direction, even if you don't become a client. So contact me, 800 Credit Score Man at gmail.com. Now, the reason I say to contact someone like me, credit restoration or what have you, prior